It is more necessary to be your own enemy than your friend. Mitchell de Montaigne. They tell you to love yourself. They tell you to be kind to yourself. They whisper sweet nothings about self-compassion. This is a lie. A comfortable lie designed to keep you exactly where you are, weak, malleable, and easily controlled. The truth is, your greatest enemy resides within. It's the voice that tells you to quit, the doubt that gnaws at your resolve, the fear that paralyzes you when opportunity knocks. This inner enemy is not some abstract concept. It's a very real force that actively works against your progress, sabotages your ambitions, and delights in your failures. We are not here to coddle that enemy. We are here to identify it, understand its tactics, and utterly destroy it. Most people spend their lives running from discomfort, seeking constant validation, and constructing elaborate narratives to justify their mediocrity. They believe that positive thinking alone can overcome any obstacle. They believe that affirmations and visualization will magically transform their lives. They are wrong. Positive thinking is a tool, not a solution. Visualization is a map, not the territory. The real work, the brutal, demanding, and often agonizing work, lies in confronting the parts of yourself that you actively despise, the weaknesses you ignore, the fears you suppress, the insecurities you mask with false bravado. These are the breeding grounds for your inner enemy. The battlefield is your mind. The weapons are discipline, self-awareness, and unwavering commitment to the truth, no matter how painful. The enemy is clever. It will disguise itself as logic, as reason, as the voice of caution. It will tell you that your goals are unrealistic, that your efforts are futile, that you are simply not good enough. It will exploit your insecurities, amplify your doubts, and prey on your deepest fears. It will use your past failures as ammunition against your future aspirations. Recognize these tactics. Understand that these are not your thoughts. They are the whispers of the enemy trying to maintain its grip on your potential. The first step in conquering your inner enemy is radical self-honesty. You must strip away the layers of self-deception and confront the raw, unfiltered truth about who you are, what you are capable of, and what you are truly afraid of. This is not a comfortable process. It will require you to acknowledge your flaws, your weaknesses, your past mistakes. It will force you to confront the parts of yourself that you have been desperately trying to avoid. But this is the only way to gain a clear understanding of your enemy's strengths and weaknesses. Only by knowing your enemy can you hope to defeat it. The second step is to develop unwavering self-discipline. Discipline is the weapon that will allow you to resist the temptations and distractions that your inner enemy throws your way. It's the ability to stay focused on your goals, even when you feel like giving up. It's the ability to make the right choices, even when they are difficult. It's the ability to push yourself beyond your comfort zone, even when you are afraid. Discipline is not an innate quality. It's a skill that must be cultivated through consistent effort and unwavering commitment. Start small. Set achievable goals and hold yourself accountable. Gradually increase the difficulty as you grow stronger. The third step is to cultivate a strategic mindset. This means learning to anticipate your enemy's moves, identifying its weaknesses, and developing a plan to exploit them. It means understanding that the battle against your inner enemy is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing war that requires constant vigilance and adaptation. It means learning to think strategically about your life, your goals, and your relationships. It means developing the ability to see the bigger picture and make decisions that will serve your long-term interests, even if they are uncomfortable in the short term. Forget self-love. Embrace self-mastery. Forget self-compassion. Embrace self-discipline. Forget positive thinking. Embrace brutal honesty. The path to true power lies not in seeking comfort and validation, but in confronting your inner demons and forging yourself into an unbreakable weapon. The choice is yours. You can continue to be a prisoner of your own mind, or you can become its master. The war is raging within. Choose your side wisely. The psychology of conquering your inner enemy is not about positive affirmations or fleeting bursts of motivation. It's about understanding the architecture of your own mind and systematically dismantling the mechanisms that hold you back. Your mind is a battlefield, and your thoughts are the soldiers. Negative thoughts, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs are the enemy forces, constantly seeking to undermine your progress and sabotage your goals. To win this war, you must learn to identify these enemy forces, understand their tactics, and develop strategies to neutralize them. This requires a deep understanding of cognitive biases, emotional regulation, and the power of neuroplasticity. Cognitive biases are systematic errors in thinking that can distort your perception of reality and lead you to make irrational decisions. For example, the confirmation bias is the tendency to seek out information that confirms your existing beliefs while ignoring evidence that contradicts them. This can lead you to become trapped in a cycle of self-deception, reinforcing your negative beliefs and hindering your ability to grow. Emotional regulation is the ability to manage your emotions in a healthy and constructive way. This does not mean suppressing your emotions or pretending that they don't exist. It means learning to recognize them, understand their underlying causes, and choose how to respond to them. For example, when you feel overwhelmed by anxiety, you can use techniques like deep breathing or mindfulness to calm your nervous system and regain control of your thoughts. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. This means that your brain is not fixed or static. It's constantly adapting and changing in response to your experiences. By consciously shaping your thoughts and behaviors, you can rewire your brain and create new neural pathways that support your goals and values. To conquer your inner enemy, you must become a master of your own mind. This requires a relentless commitment to self-awareness, self-discipline, and continuous learning. You must be willing to confront your own flaws and weaknesses, challenge your limiting beliefs, and push yourself beyond your comfort zone. This is not an easy path, but it's the only path to true freedom and fulfillment. Think of your mind as a computer. It runs on code, and much of that code, the programs running in the background, were written long ago, often unconsciously during childhood. These programs dictate your default behaviors, your knee-jerk reactions, the automatic thoughts that pop into your head. Many of these programs are outdated, inefficient, or even malicious. They were designed to protect you in a different environment, a different stage of your life. But now, they are holding you back. To rewrite these programs, you need to first identify them. This requires introspection, self-reflection, and a willingness to be brutally honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what are my recurring negative thoughts? What are my self-limiting beliefs? What are the patterns of behavior that keep me stuck? Once you have identified these programs, you can begin to rewrite them. This requires conscious effort and deliberate practice. You need to challenge your negative thoughts, question your self-limiting beliefs, and break your old patterns of behavior. This is not a passive process. It's an active, ongoing battle. You will face resistance. Your old programs will fight back. They will try to convince you that they are necessary, that they are protecting you, that you are not capable of change. But you must resist. You must stay focused on your goals and keep pushing forward even when it's difficult. The key is repetition. By repeatedly challenging your negative thoughts, questioning your self-limiting beliefs, and breaking your old patterns of behavior, you can create new neural pathways in your brain. Over time, these new pathways will become stronger and more dominant, replacing the old, outdated programs. This is the power of neuroplasticity in action. You are not a victim of your past. You are the architect of your future. You have the power to rewrite your own code and create a new, more powerful version of yourself. Consider the concept of psychological Aikido. Aikido is a martial art that focuses on redirecting an opponent's energy rather than meeting it head-on. Similarly, psychological Aikido involves redirecting your inner enemy's attacks to your advantage. When self-doubt creeps in, instead of trying to suppress it, acknowledge it, examine its roots, and then use it as fuel for your determination. Ask yourself, what is this doubt trying to tell me? Is it pointing out a genuine weakness that I need to address? Or is it simply a manifestation of my fear of failure? If it's a genuine weakness, then use it as an opportunity to improve. Develop a plan to overcome that weakness and commit to taking action. If it's simply a manifestation of your fear of failure, then challenge that fear. Remind yourself of your past successes, your strengths, and your potential. Visualize yourself achieving your goals and feel the sense of accomplishment. The key is to transform your inner enemy's attacks into opportunities for growth. This requires a shift in perspective. Instead of viewing self-doubt, fear, and anxiety as threats, see them as signals, as opportunities to learn and improve. This does not mean that you should welcome these emotions. It means that you should not allow them to control you. You should learn to recognize them, understand them, and use them to your advantage. This is the essence of psychological Aikido, turning your inner enemy's strength against itself. This is not about being passive or complacent. It's about being strategic and resourceful. It's about using your inner enemy's energy to propel you forward, to make you stronger, and to help you achieve your goals. It's about transforming your weaknesses into strengths and your fears into opportunities. Mastering your inner enemy also demands the cultivation of mental fortitude. This is not simply about being tough or resilient. It's about developing the mental strength to withstand adversity, overcome obstacles, and persevere through challenges. Mental fortitude is built through consistent practice and unwavering commitment. It's about pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, facing your fears, and learning from your mistakes. One powerful technique for building mental fortitude is visualization. This involves creating a mental image of yourself successfully navigating challenging situations. For example, if you are preparing for a difficult presentation, visualize yourself confidently delivering your speech, answering questions with poise, and connecting with your audience. The more vivid and detailed your visualization, the more effective it will be. Visualization helps to prepare your mind and body for the actual event, reducing anxiety and increasing confidence. It also helps to reinforce your belief in your ability to succeed. Another important aspect of mental fortitude is the ability to manage your emotions effectively. This does not mean suppressing your emotions or pretending that they don't exist. It means learning to recognize them, understand their underlying causes, and choose how to respond to them. When you feel overwhelmed by stress, anxiety, or frustration, take a step back, breathe deeply, and assess the situation objectively. Ask yourself, what is the source of this emotion? Is it based on reality or is it based on my own perceptions? What can I do to address the underlying cause of this emotion? By learning to manage your emotions effectively, you can prevent them from controlling you and sabotaging your efforts. Mental fortitude is not an innate quality. It's a skill that must be cultivated through consistent effort and deliberate practice. It's about facing your fears, learning from your mistakes, and never giving up on your goals. It's about developing the mental strength to withstand adversity and emerge stronger and more resilient than ever before. And finally, remember this: the battle against your inner enemy is a lifelong war. There is no final victory, no permanent peace. The enemy will always be there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for an opportunity to strike. But with consistent effort and unwavering commitment, you can learn to control your mind, master your emotions, and transform your inner demons into your greatest strengths. This is the path to true self-mastery. This is the path to becoming the person you were meant to be. Consider the story of James Mattis, a Marine general renowned for his strategic brilliance and unwavering discipline. His entire career was a masterclass in conquering the inner enemy, not just on the battlefield but within himself. Imagine a young lieutenant, fresh out of the academy, thrown into the chaos of a war zone. Fear is a constant companion. Doubt whispers in his ear, fatigue gnaws at his resolve. Most succumb to these internal pressures, making rash decisions, cracking under pressure, and ultimately failing their mission and their men. But Mattis did not. He understood at a fundamental level that the external enemy was only half the battle. The real war was being waged within his own mind. He cultivated a mental fortress, built on rigorous training, relentless self-assessment, and an unwavering commitment to his duty. He devoured books on military history and strategy, learning from the triumphs and failures of commanders past. He subjected himself to grueling physical and mental challenges, pushing his limits and building his resilience. He sought out mentors who could provide honest feedback and guidance, helping him to identify his weaknesses and develop his strengths. This relentless self-improvement wasn't about ego, it was about responsibility. He knew that the lives of his Marines depended on his ability to make sound decisions under immense pressure. His inner peace came from knowing he'd prepared to the absolute limit of human capability. It came from knowing he'd given his men the best possible leadership, the best possible chance of survival. Now picture him years later, a seasoned general leading troops in some of the most dangerous places on Earth. He's facing complex situations, making life-or-death decisions with only imperfect information. The weight of responsibility is immense. The pressure to succeed is overwhelming, but he doesn't crumble, he doesn't panic, he doesn't let his emotions cloud his judgment. He has trained himself to remain calm and focused, to analyze the situation objectively, and to make the best possible decision based on the available evidence. This is not luck. This is the result of years of deliberate practice, of consistently confronting his inner enemy and emerging victorious. It's about understanding the human condition, the weaknesses that plague us all, and finding ways to overcome them. Mattis was known for his candid and direct communication. He spoke plainly and honestly, even when it was uncomfortable. He didn't sugarcoat the truth, and he didn't shy away from difficult conversations. This was not simply a matter of style, it was a deliberate strategy. He understood that clear and honest communication was essential for building trust and fostering cohesion within his unit. He also understood that it was essential for maintaining his own mental clarity. By forcing himself to articulate his thoughts and ideas, he was able to clarify his own thinking and identify any potential flaws in his reasoning. He cultivated a culture of brutal honesty, where everyone was encouraged to speak their mind and challenge the status quo. This allowed him to tap into the collective intelligence of his team and make better decisions as a result. Even in the face of setbacks and failures, he remained resilient. He didn't dwell on his mistakes, but instead used them as opportunities to learn and grow. He understood that failure is an inevitable part of life, and that the key to success is to learn from your mistakes and keep moving forward. He cultivated a growth mindset, always seeking out new challenges and opportunities to improve. He never rested on his laurels, but instead remained perpetually hungry for knowledge and experience. The lessons of James Mattis are clear. The path to self-mastery is paved with discipline, self-assessment, and a relentless commitment to growth. It's about confronting your inner enemy, mastering your emotions, and transforming your weaknesses into strengths. It's a constant battle, but one that is worth fighting. The trap that snares the weak is the illusion of control. They believe that by avoiding discomfort, by shielding themselves from criticism, by indulging in instant gratification, they are somehow in charge. They mistake comfort for strength and stagnation for stability. They build walls around themselves, not to protect, but to imprison. These walls are made of excuses, rationalizations, and justifications for their failures. They blame external circumstances, other people, or simply bad luck for their shortcomings. They refuse to take responsibility for their lives, preferring to remain victims of circumstance rather than masters of their own destiny. This victim mentality is a self-fulfilling prophecy. By constantly focusing on what they can't control, they become increasingly helpless and powerless. They relinquish their agency, surrendering to the whims of fate. They become reactive rather than proactive, constantly putting out fires instead of building a fireproof foundation. This reactive existence drains their energy and leaves them feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. They become prisoners of their own minds, trapped in a cycle of negativity and self-doubt. The key to escaping this trap is to recognize it for what it is, a carefully constructed illusion. It's a story we tell ourselves to justify our inaction and avoid the pain of self-improvement. Once we recognize the illusion, we can begin to dismantle it. This requires a willingness to confront our own weaknesses and shortcomings. It requires brutal honesty and a commitment to self-assessment. It means taking responsibility for our lives, both the good and the bad. It means accepting that we are not perfect and that we will make mistakes. But it also means believing that we are capable of growth and change. It means embracing discomfort and seeking out challenges that push us beyond our comfort zone. It means developing a growth mindset, constantly seeking out new knowledge and experiences. It means cultivating resilience, learning to bounce back from setbacks and failures. It means mastering our emotions, learning to control our impulses and manage our reactions. It means building a strong mental framework, a set of principles and values that guide our decisions and actions. It means developing self-discipline, the ability to do what needs to be done, even when we don't feel like it. It means cultivating self-awareness, understanding our strengths and weaknesses, our triggers and biases. It means practicing mindfulness, paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It means developing empathy, understanding the perspectives and emotions of others. It means cultivating compassion, caring for ourselves and others. It means building strong relationships, surrounding ourselves with people who support and challenge us. It means setting meaningful goals, giving ourselves a sense of purpose and direction. It means taking consistent action, making small but steady progress towards our goals. It means celebrating our successes, recognizing and appreciating our accomplishments. It means learning from our failures, using them as opportunities to grow and improve. It means never giving up on ourselves, believing in our potential and striving to become the best version of ourselves. This is the path to self-mastery. It's not easy, but it's worth it. The alternative is to remain trapped in the illusion of control, living a life of quiet desperation, never realizing our full potential. The choice is ours. The strategy to conquer your inner enemy isn't a passive acceptance of your flaws, but a ruthless audit of your internal landscape. It demands you accept a brutal truth. You are, in part, your own worst enemy. This isn't about self-pity, it's about recognizing the adversary within. The undisciplined mind, the knee-jerk reactions, the ingrained patterns of self-sabotage. These are the enemy combatants you must identify and neutralize. Start with observation. Become a detached observer of your own thoughts and emotions, especially during moments of stress or temptation. What thoughts consistently lead you down the wrong path? What emotions cloud your judgment and compromise your integrity? Identify these recurring patterns, these internal scripts that dictate your behavior. Then understand their origins. Where do these limiting beliefs and destructive habits come from? Were they learned from your family, your peers, or your past experiences? Trace them back to their source. Once you understand the root cause, you can begin to dismantle them. Question their validity. Are they actually true, or are they simply outdated assumptions? Challenge their authority. Do they truly serve your best interests, or are they holding you back from your full potential? Replace them with new, more empowering beliefs and habits. But don't expect this to be easy. Your inner enemy will resist. It will cling to its old ways, its comfort zones, its familiar patterns of self-destruction. It will whisper doubts in your ear, tempting you to give up, to revert back to your old ways. This is where discipline comes in. You must fight back with unwavering resolve, with a clear vision of the person you want to become. Use mental rehearsal to prepare for difficult situations. Visualize yourself facing your inner enemy, resisting its temptations and making the right choices. Practice self-compassion, but don't mistake it for self-indulgence. Acknowledge your struggles, but don't allow them to define you. Learn from your mistakes, but don't dwell on them. Forgive yourself, but don't forget the lessons you've learned. Surround yourself with people who support your growth, who challenge your assumptions, and who hold you accountable. Seek out mentors, role models, and fellow travelers who have conquered their own inner enemies. Study their strategies, learn from their experiences, and adapt their techniques to your own unique circumstances. Remember, this is a war of attrition. There will be setbacks, defeats, and moments of despair. But don't lose heart. Every battle won, every temptation resisted, every destructive habit broken, strengthens your resolve and weakens your inner enemy. Over time, you will gain the upper hand. You will learn to control your thoughts and emotions, to master your impulses, and to harness your inner power. You will transform yourself from a victim of your inner enemy into a master of your own destiny. This is the path to true freedom, the path to self-mastery, the path to becoming the best version of yourself. Consider the rise and fall of empires. Every empire, no matter how vast or powerful, faces constant threats, not just from external foes but from internal decay. Corruption, complacency, and moral decline can erode the foundations of even the mightiest civilization. The same holds true for the empire within you, the inner kingdom that you are striving to build. Your thoughts, your emotions, your habits, these are the citizens of your inner empire. If they are undisciplined, unruly, and driven by base desires, they will tear your kingdom apart from the inside. Weakness from within is more dangerous than any external challenge. A fortified city can withstand a siege, but if the gates are opened from the inside, the enemy will pour in and conquer with ease. Your inner enemy is that traitor within the gates, constantly whispering doubts, temptations, and excuses. It seeks to undermine your resolve, sabotage your efforts, and lead you down the path of self-destruction. Just as a general must maintain vigilance against treachery and dissent within his ranks, so too must you be ever vigilant against the insidious influence of your inner enemy. War is not just fought on battlefields, it is fought in the minds of men. The greatest generals throughout history understood this. They knew that morale, discipline, and psychological resilience were just as important as weapons and tactics. A well-equipped army with low morale is easily defeated, while a poorly equipped army with unwavering resolve can overcome seemingly insurmountable odds. Your battle against your inner enemy is a war for your mind. It is a struggle to control your thoughts, emotions, and impulses. It is a fight to maintain your focus, discipline, and determination in the face of adversity. Just as a general studies the terrain, the enemy's strengths and weaknesses, and the art of war, so too must you study your own inner landscape, understand your vulnerabilities, and master the strategies of self-mastery. Know your triggers, anticipate your weaknesses, and develop countermeasures to defend against your inner enemy's attacks. When you are tired, hungry, or stressed, your defenses are weakened, and your inner enemy will seize the opportunity to strike. Prepare for these moments in advance, develop coping mechanisms, and create a support system to help you stay on track. Every soldier faces moments of doubt, fear, and despair. The difference between a hero and a coward is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. The same is true for you. Your inner enemy will try to convince you that you are not good enough, that you are not strong enough, that you are destined to fail. It will prey on your insecurities, magnify your weaknesses, and fill your mind with negative thoughts. Do not believe its lies. Remember your past victories, focus on your strengths, and reaffirm your commitment to your goals. Just as a general rallies his troops in the face of adversity, so too must you rally your inner forces and remind yourself of what you are fighting for. Visualize your success, repeat affirmations, and surround yourself with positive influences. When you feel like giving up, remember why you started. Think of the rewards that await you if you persevere and the consequences of giving in. Your inner enemy wants you to surrender, to give up on your dreams, to settle for mediocrity. Do not let it win. Dig deep, find your inner strength, and keep fighting. The greatest empires were not built overnight. They were the result of centuries of hard work, dedication, and sacrifice. Similarly, the mastery of your inner self is a lifelong journey, not a quick fix. There will be setbacks, defeats, and moments when you feel like you are going backwards. Do not be discouraged. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn. Every failure is a chance to grow stronger. Just as a general learns from his battlefield defeats, so too must you learn from your personal setbacks. Analyze what went wrong, identify your weaknesses, and adjust your strategies accordingly. Do not dwell on your mistakes, but do not forget them either. Use them as fuel to drive you forward, as lessons to guide you on your path. Remember that progress is not always linear. There will be times when you feel like you are stuck in a rut, but even then, you are still making progress. Keep moving forward, keep learning, and keep growing. Over time, you will accumulate knowledge, skills, and experience that will make you a formidable force. True power comes not from dominating others, but from mastering yourself. The ability to control your thoughts, emotions, and impulses is the ultimate weapon. It allows you to make rational decisions, to persevere in the face of adversity, and to achieve your goals, regardless of the obstacles in your path. Your inner enemy wants you to believe that you are powerless, that you are at the mercy of your emotions and impulses. But this is a lie. You have the power to choose your thoughts, to control your actions, and to shape your destiny. Just as a general commands his troops, so too can you command your inner forces. Learn to recognize the signs of your inner enemy's attacks, develop strategies to defend against them, and cultivate the habits of self-discipline, resilience, and perseverance. The battle against your inner enemy is a constant struggle, but it is a struggle worth fighting. For the reward is not just the achievement of your goals, but the transformation of yourself into the person you were meant to be. Your inner enemy operates in the shadows, whispering doubts and fears into your mind, exploiting your weaknesses and vulnerabilities. It knows you better than anyone else because it is a part of you. It is the sum total of your insecurities, your past traumas, your limiting beliefs, and your negative emotions. It is the voice that tells you that you are not good enough, that you are not capable, that you are not worthy. It is the force that holds you back from pursuing your dreams, from taking risks, from living a full and meaningful life. To conquer this enemy, you must first understand its tactics. It uses deception, manipulation, and emotional blackmail to keep you in its grip. It preys on your insecurities, magnifying your flaws and minimizing your strengths. It convinces you that failure is inevitable, that success is unattainable, that you are better off staying in your comfort zone. It uses the power of social comparison, constantly reminding you of all the people who are more successful, more attractive, more intelligent, or more popular than you are. It fosters a sense of scarcity, making you believe that there is not enough opportunity, resources, or love to go around. It promotes a victim mentality, encouraging you to blame others for your problems and to avoid taking responsibility for your own life. To overcome these tactics, you must cultivate a strong sense of self-awareness. You must learn to identify the triggers that activate your inner enemy, the thoughts and emotions that it uses to control you. You must challenge your limiting beliefs, replacing them with empowering ones. You must develop a positive self-image, focusing on your strengths and acknowledging your accomplishments. You must practice self-compassion, treating yourself with kindness and understanding, even when you make mistakes. You must learn to manage your emotions, developing healthy coping mechanisms for dealing with stress, anxiety, and depression. You must break free from the trap of social comparison, focusing on your own progress and celebrating your own achievements. You must cultivate a mindset of abundance, believing that there is more than enough opportunity, resources, and love for everyone. You must take responsibility for your own life, recognizing that you have the power to choose your thoughts, your actions, and your destiny. The battlefield of the mind is a treacherous one, filled with hidden traps and unexpected ambushes. Your inner enemy is a master strategist, constantly adapting its tactics to exploit your weaknesses. It knows your deepest fears, your most vulnerable points, and it will use them against you without mercy. To prevail in this battle, you must become a skilled warrior, armed with the weapons of self-awareness, self-discipline, and unwavering determination. You must learn to anticipate your enemy's moves, to recognize its deceptive tactics, and to counter its attacks with swift and decisive action. You must cultivate a mental fortress, a sanctuary of inner peace and resilience that cannot be breached by the forces of negativity. This fortress is built upon the foundation of your values, your beliefs, and your sense of purpose. It is reinforced by the walls of self-discipline, the gates of mindfulness, and the towers of unwavering resolve. Within this fortress, you can find refuge from the storms of life, draw strength from your inner resources, and prepare for the challenges that lie ahead. But building and maintaining this fortress requires constant vigilance and effort. You must regularly inspect its defenses, identify any weaknesses, and make necessary repairs. You must train your mind to resist the temptations of laziness, procrastination, and self-doubt. You must cultivate the habits of discipline, focus, and perseverance. And you must never allow your inner enemy to gain a foothold within your fortress walls. For once it has breached your defenses, it will be much more difficult to dislodge it. The war against your inner enemy is not a sprint, but a marathon. It is a lifelong journey of self-discovery, self-improvement, and self-mastery. There will be times when you feel like giving up, when the struggle seems too difficult, when the pain is too intense. But it is in these moments that your true strength is revealed. It is in these moments that you have the opportunity to rise above your limitations, to transcend your fears, and to become the person you were meant to be. Remember that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, every setback is a chance to learn, and every failure is a stepping stone to success. Embrace the struggle, persevere through the pain, and never give up on your quest for inner peace and self-mastery. Understanding the psychology of your inner enemy is like studying the battle plans of your most formidable opponent. You must analyze its patterns, identify its strengths and weaknesses, and develop strategies to exploit its vulnerabilities. Your inner enemy is not a monolithic entity, but a collection of negative thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that have accumulated over time. These thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are often rooted in past experiences, traumas, and conditioning. They may be triggered by specific situations, people, or events, and they can manifest in a variety of ways, such as anxiety, depression, self-doubt, procrastination, or addiction. To effectively combat your inner enemy, you must first identify the specific thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that are holding you back. You can do this through journaling, meditation, or therapy. Once you have identified these patterns, you can begin to challenge them. Ask yourself, are these thoughts and beliefs true? Are they helpful? Are they serving my best interests? If the answer to any of these questions is no, then you need to replace those thoughts and beliefs with more positive and empowering ones. This is not always easy. Your inner enemy will resist your attempts to change, and it will try to sabotage your efforts. But with persistence, determination, and a willingness to challenge your own assumptions, you can break free from its grip. One of the most powerful tools for conquering your inner enemy is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them. When you are mindful, you can see your inner enemy's tactics for what they are, simply thoughts and emotions, not reflections of reality. This awareness gives you the power to choose how you respond to your inner enemy's attacks. You can choose to ignore its negative thoughts, to challenge its limiting beliefs, and to cultivate positive emotions. Mindfulness also helps you to develop self-compassion. When you are kind and understanding towards yourself, you are less likely to be harsh and judgmental. This makes it easier to forgive yourself for your mistakes, to learn from your failures, and to move forward with confidence. Furthermore, consider your past actions as data points, not defining moments. Every misstep, every failure, every moment of weakness holds within it valuable information. Analyze these instances with a critical but compassionate eye. What triggered the lapse in discipline? What vulnerabilities were exploited? What internal narratives contributed to the downfall? Extract the lessons embedded within these experiences and use them to fortify your defenses against future attacks. This process of self-reflection should not be an exercise in self-flagellation, but rather a strategic assessment of the battlefield. The goal is not to dwell on past mistakes, but to learn from them and to prevent them from recurring. By understanding the psychological mechanisms that underlie your inner enemy's attacks, you can develop more effective strategies for diffusing them. For example, if you know that you are prone to procrastination when faced with a challenging task, you can break the task down into smaller, more manageable steps. If you know that you are vulnerable to self-doubt when comparing yourself to others, you can limit your exposure to social media or focus on your own unique strengths and accomplishments. The key is to be proactive, not reactive. Don't wait for your inner enemy to launch an attack before you start defending yourself. Instead, cultivate a daily practice of self-care, mindfulness, and self-affirmation. Nourish your mind with positive input, surround yourself with supportive people, and engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. The stronger your inner foundation, the more resilient you will be in the face of adversity. Remember, the battle against your inner enemy is not a one-time event, but a continuous process. There will be times when you stumble, when you falter, when you feel like giving up. But don't be discouraged. Even the most seasoned warriors experience setbacks. The important thing is to learn from your mistakes, to get back on your feet, and to keep moving forward. With each victory over your inner enemy, you will grow stronger, more confident, and more resilient. And eventually, you will reach a point where you are no longer fighting a war, but living a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. Develop a system of rewards and punishments for yourself. This is not about childish bribes, but about establishing clear feedback loops that reinforce positive behavior and discourage negative behavior. When you successfully resist your inner enemy's temptations, reward yourself with something that you value, something that reinforces your commitment to self-mastery. This could be anything from a relaxing bath to a healthy meal to a few moments of quiet contemplation. Conversely, when you succumb to your inner enemy's influence, impose a consequence on yourself. This could be anything from a small financial penalty to a period of solitary reflection to a commitment to performing an act of service for others. The key is to choose rewards and punishments that are meaningful to you and that are consistently applied. This will help you to internalize the consequences of your actions and to develop a stronger sense of self-discipline. Furthermore, cultivate a strong support network of people who believe in you and who will hold you accountable. These people can provide you with encouragement, motivation, and perspective when you are struggling. They can also help you to identify your blind spots and to challenge your limiting beliefs. Choose your support network carefully, selecting individuals who are positive, supportive, and genuinely invested in your success. Avoid those who are negative, critical, or who tend to enable your self-destructive behaviors. The company you keep can have a profound impact on your mindset and your ability to overcome your inner enemy. Remember, you are not alone in this struggle. Everyone faces internal challenges and battles their own inner demons. But by sharing your experiences with others, you can gain